Hello guys, in today's video I'll be showing you how to collect data for international trade between different countries, so their export and import analysis, what they're exporting and importing between each other, and also the supply and demand side of commodities. So everything in this video is a free resource, and you'll need Excel. That's about it. So this website here is called the OEC World website. This is a fantastic website that uh, uh, visually represents all the trade analysis and the commodity analysis that we'll be doing here. So you can just type in different countries' names here. So I'm looking at the United States, so we'll just go for the United States here. Tells the exports, imports, etc. There's some analysis there. But what we're really interested in is the exports. So it will tell you what the United States is exporting as a percentage of its economy. So fantastic there. And what it's importing as a percentage of its economy or its imports. So a percentage of the exports and a percentage of the imports here. Tell you the trade balance as well, and it will tell you from which destinations that they are exporting to. So top export destinations: China 11%, Canada, Mexico seem to be the big winners here. And then where are they importing from? A lot from China, a lot from Mexico, and a lot from Canada as well. And there's some other measurements here as well. So what I've done to help me with my trading process is I've made a note of all the different percentages here, or the main percentages, the ones that are really standing out for the different countries that I like to trade. It's really important for commodity dependent nations, because then you'll be able to see which commodities they are really dependent on. And this resource, the data from OEC, is of world standard. It is the highest quality. And this website gets updated, I think, every year, so you don't need to constantly update, do a manual update. You can just do it once a year. There is an API, but I couldn't figure out how to use it. Sorry, guys. Um, the so once you made a note of this information into Excel, you can start drawing tree diagrams, which I'll show you a bit later on. So then you'll have a competent knowledge of who's trading to who and what they're trading. So if we type in a commodity dependent nation, say I don't know, Brazil. Just click on that. We can see, again, very quickly, the data. We can see that they're exporting iron ore, soybean, crude oil, raw sugar, as you would expect, because they're famous for that. And they're importing more uh, finished goods, more tech goods type stuff. And then we can see their trade balance here. We can also see where it's going. Obviously, China again, and the United States, as you would imagine. Argentina, you wouldn't have thought, but it's there, and that's great because we now know that, having looked at this page. And we can also see where the origins are of what they're importing from China, from the United States again. So we can see if there's news depending on trade relationships, etc., how this would affect Brazil, or commodity prices, how would this affect Brazil? And then that could inspire different things that you wish to look at. Um, so those are two nations we've looked at in this video. We can also look at uh, commodities. So if we just type in oil, first one will be crude oil. So now we look at the percentage of the exports. Who is exporting the most amount of oil? And no surprises for guessing that it is Saudi Arabia, followed by Russia, and then other Middle Eastern countries tend to be right just behind them. You also have Canada and Norway as well. And then you can also see who's importing oil. No surprises again, it's going to be China and United States, biggest economies in the world. Obviously, they're going to take up a lot of the commodities around the world. But then you also have India here as well. So you can see how this would affect supply and demand and commodity prices. And knowing who is the biggest players means you can have a real good idea as to where the price is going to go. So this is a really, really useful website. So please do make use of it. It's called the OEC World website. And you can literally search for any commodity, any nation. Here they all are: South Korea, France, Japan, absolutely anything, any product as well, and see who are the biggest players, who are the minor players, who is really dependent on them, etc., etc. So once you've made a note of, say, several nations that you wish to look at in Excel, like I've done here, you can now start mapping out tree diagrams. So here we've got exporting trade partner of total trade. So the first one is the United States. So if I just highlight the first two, I can then do insert recommendations. And if I click on this one here, it's not a tree diagram, I know, guys. And if we just do copy and paste here, what we can do now is then we can just delete different series from different ones. So there, and then I can just click on it again, click on insert, recommended charts, go to all charts, tree map. There we go. Delete that. And now I can go to format data labels. Oh no. First I want to add data labels. There we go first. And then now I want to edit these. Format data labels, yep. So we want series name, and now we want category name, and we want value. So now for this particular, so now we can see the United States exporting trade partner, percentage of total trade. Mexico is 15%, Canada is 12%, China is 11%. And then we can do the same over here. Go to insert, recommended charts, change it to a tree map, click OK. It's done that, and then we can just delete this, add data labels, then we can go to format data labels, series, value, category, value, and then again we can see for China who is their biggest exporting trade partner. And you can do this and you just repeat the process over and over again until you've got the charts as big as or as small as you want, and you can put them in Excel, have all your different trading partners, etc. at the bottom. And over here we've got importing partners, exactly the same process, and you can do the same for percentage of commodities or who's supplying it and who's taking up that supply, and so is the demand side. And then you can measure those economies via the different indicators that you wish to look at. And that's been covered in my previous videos. So this is completely free resource. It's just out there. You just need to do a copy and paste job and take some notes into Excel. It will take you 3-4 minutes per nation. Let's say you're looking at 30 nations, so then it's going to be a couple of hours, and then depending on commodities, maybe a couple of hours after that. But then after half a day's work, you've got the data, and you just need to casually update it once a year, if that. So that's the video, guys. If you like the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Help other traders out in doing so. And if you've seen my other videos, you know I'm a big fan of Metastock Xenith. There's a referral link in the description below. Please use that. It will help the channel out, and I will see you in the next video.